Hi there, it's Jacqueline McGrath, Global Director here with another fun cooking class with my law of substitution. And I am inspired today with a recipe that I'm trying to replicate when I was in Sri Lanka on a trip there. And what I loved is the fresh produce that they had. Of course, you probably already know I love mangoes, and so I bought a flat of them at Costco. So I'm trying to find recipes for that as well. And I love shrimp. So I'm gonna put all these together with a great meal that I think you're probably gonna absolutely love. And I'm gonna call it spicy shrimp with coconut rice. So let's get started. Fun food fact, this recipe actually has scallions in it, or green onions. And is there a difference? Yeah, there actually is. Well, taste-wise, they're pretty similar. But that being said, scallions, if you really want to know whether you've got onions, green onions or scallions, look at the end, the bulb. Well, if it's a scallion, it's actually going to be thin. There's not going to be a bulb. It's going to be basically straight down from your green part, okay, green tops. If it's a green onion, it will actually have a bulb. So there, fun fact. Now you're going to be so knowledgeable when you go to the grocery store. Is it a green onion or is it a scallion? The other thing I have in my fridge that I thought I'd use is shallots. And shallots are a type of onion. And in the Sri Lankan cuisine, they actually fry them. So I thought that might be a nice addition for my shrimp because I'm doing a spicy shrimp, right? So I thought the onion would give it a nice flavor. What am I going to put in that? Well, poco salsa to make it spicy. And then let's talk about coconut milk, because not all coconut milk is the same. In fact, first let's start the difference between coconut milk and coconut water. Do you know what the difference is? Of course, they're thinner and they look totally different, but coconut milk comes from mature brown coconuts, whereas coconut water comes from premature or not mature coconuts. Okay, now there is a process on doing this, making it. However, just so you know, when you do coconut water, that is actually a natural process. When you do coconut milk, it is a process that has to be manufactured. And because they add water to it, because coconut water actually has 94% water, when you do the coconut milk, they actually add water to it. So that's what would make not all coconut milk the same quality. So good to know. Buy what you believe is the best quality, and do check your labels. I've looked at a few and they're quite dramatic. So to get started today in our cooking class, I'm going to use our amazing multi-purpose steamer. I sure hope you have this. Like, this is a game changer in your microwave. Not kidding. So what I've done is I've got 1 cup of white rice that I have rinsed and got all cleaned up. And now all I'm going to do is I'm going to pour in with our prep bowls. I've got 1 cup of water in here. So I'll just add that to it. I'm going to put a little bit of salt in here. Now, because it's a spicy shrimp, I'm going to use our smoky SIRACHA, which would add a little bit of heat. And I am a spice girl, so you can understand why I would put that in. I'm just going to use my saute spoon. Make sure I can get that mixed around. And I'm just simply going to put this in the microwave in my microwave, it takes 9 minutes and it'll be perfectly done. So let me just slide that in here. And while I'm doing that, get my stove going here. We're going to fry up our shrimp, which takes no time at all. So give me a second. Let's get started with that. Okay, so now I've got a little bit of butter in here, but I'm going to add a little bit of oil as well. So this is olive oil. Make sure you use a good quality, and I'm just going to maybe put like a tablespoon in. I like having the butter in there because I like how it browns a little bit. And I did mention that I was going to put scallions in it and shallots. So let's start with the shallots because I want to do fried. And shallots are a type of onion, and I'm going to give you a quick tip. You're going to want to buy one of our mandolins. This is called a 4-in-1 mandolin. Give me a second, I'll tell you why. This 4-in-1 mandolin actually comes with different blades. And so the blade I'm going to use today is one of our larger straight one, and it's got a 3.5 millimeter thickness. Now, when you're slicing shallots, you want to slice them really thin, right? Because you want to fry them up really good. So here's a tip. With our nice sharp metalled prongs, you can actually stick a couple of them in here and literally just slice them right into your fry pan and get those frying up before you put your onions in. These will actually take longer than what your onions, before you put your shrimp in. These will actually fry up super, super fast as well. So there you go. So using my saute spoon, I'm just going to stir these around, get them sort of nice and crispy. Now, to get the best texture for your shrimp, make sure that you rinse them, devein them, take the tails off and dry them. So maybe put them on a little paper towel, make sure they're dry. So I'll just let these get started. Frying up a bit. And as soon as I put these in, I'm going to make the sauce for our coconut shrimp, coconut rice. So a lot of people ask me, like, why do you do Epicure, Jacqueline? I've been doing this business for 23 years, and one of the reasons I love this business is I love to cook healthy. I do not want my family having meals that are full of extra salt, sugar, and fat, over-processed. And I like to explore. And currently right now with COVID out there and not being able to travel, this is a great way for me to reminisce on all the fabulous travels I've had over the past. So I'm going to add my shrimp. This is roughly about 20 of them, so maybe about a pound of shrimp. And I'm actually going to add a little bit of seasoning in here, and I'm going to use my poco salsa. Now this is a dry mix. Normally when you go to the grocery store and you buy salsa, it's already mixed in tomatoes. I certainly don't want tomato salsa in here. I just want the seasoning. So I'm going to flip our 4-in-1 spoon onto the opposite half, and I'm going to put a teaspoon, and this will make it hot, guys. If this is too hot for you, I'm going to tell you, the heat is in your control. If you don't like it that hot, flip it over to the other side and put in half a teaspoon or a quarter of a teaspoon, your choice. I can actually smell it already. Yum, yum. So cooking shrimp doesn't take very long at all. In fact, I'm going to turn this down so I don't get distracted. It should only take 3 or 4 minutes at best. Okay, so let's make our sauce. And what I'm going to do, I mentioned coconut milk. And to make the sauce, I'm going to start, because it's going to be like a salad dressing almost. I'm going to put a 1/4 cup of good quality olive oil, using our prep bowls, of course. The next thing I'm going to do is coconut milk. Now this is a thick milk, and I will tell you, when you buy coconut milk, you can get different consistencies. Most people choose the thin coconut milk for sauces. I am adding it to olive oil. That's one of the reasons why I chose it. I want it to literally coat. So I'm going to put 3 tablespoons of my coconut milk in there, and then I'm just going to put this back in my fridge, and I'll probably use it for another recipe. Actually, I'm probably going to do something with our panna cotta with that, actually. I'm already getting my ideas in my head. All right, so again, keeping in with the flavor, I'm going to get my 4-in-1 spoon again. Remember, I always talk about grabbing 2, and here's the perfect example why. I want to put a good teaspoon of this in my sauce, and if I put this in, of course, I'm going to literally coat it all up. So let's grab, I'm going to put a good heaping teaspoon in there. All right, and we'll give this a little stir. And this is going to be my sauce that I'm going to just pour over top of my mango, and then I'm going to toss it with my rice. So there's my sauce. Let me taste it, make sure it's perfect. I might want to add a little salt. Definitely need salt. Okay, so again, because I like it spicy, I'm going to add some smoky sriracha in here. And actually, because of wanting it to be a little bit spicier, I think I'm going to add an additional teaspoon. So that would be 2 teaspoons of our poco salsa. Now you know how I cook in my kitchen. I have not taste tested this before. So when you are doing your own cooking in your kitchen, make sure you always taste it before you put it out for your guests, because I definitely needed the salt in that. All Epicure products, just so you know, are 100% gluten-free and nut-free. And so it really just depends on what you're adding to it. So you can see my shrimp are almost done. I can probably, I've got them almost all flipped, probably turn off the heat. There's nothing worse than overcooking your shrimp. And I know my fry pan is going to stay a little toasty for a minute or two, and I don't want my shrimp turning out like rubber. So this style of shrimp, you can actually tell it is cooked just because it does change to a nice pink color. Not all shrimp does that, by the way. Okay, so my rice is almost done. So let's put this in our mango. Now, for our mango, I used our nice ceramic knife. And depending on the style of mango that you have, you may need to have the larger one if you're using the large mango, or if you have the smaller yellow style mango, this one's probably the best. And I've basically done 1 large mango. I'm going to add this seasoning, but I also want to add a few different flavors as well to this, and one of them is lime zest. So make sure when you buy your lime, now this recipe I would recommend you do 2 limes, but you can see that this lime is massive. In fact, I'm going to put the juice in, and it doesn't even really fit inside. So 1 large lime or 2 average size limes would be perfect for this recipe. So wash the outside and then just grate some zest. I'm going to say maybe about a teaspoon of zest, and then we're going to juice this. Now, when you're zesting, it's really important that you don't give too much of the white. The white tends to be the really bitter part of your lemon or lime. Okay, so there's roughly a teaspoon of zest. Fabulous. Okay, so now I'm going to grab my ceramic knife, and you're going to love this knife. Super, super sharp. And love that it comes with a container to make sure your knife stays sharp and protected. So do not lose that. I'm gonna take this lime, and as I mentioned before, doesn't really fit. You're gonna see, does not fit inside this lime. Feel free to put it in a lemon and put the juice of 1 full lime or 2 small limes in here. Okay, perfect. And the last thing I'm gonna do for flavor, my rice is almost done now, is I am going to add some scallions. And these were scallions. Do you remember how I told you how you tell the difference? It's the bulb, it's all in the bulb. So just look at the bulb. Once they're cut off, you'd never know. So for my ceramic knife, I just slice these into nice fine little pieces. And we're gonna add that to the salad. The other thing that I'm going to add, just because I've got a lot of it right outside my front door, is I've got some fresh mint here. Yum, yum. So I'm gonna just give that a little chop. It'll be nice to see this color with the shrimp and the mango, yellow and green and pink. It's gonna be beautiful. Okay, so let me go grab my plate. I'm gonna go grab my rice, and I'll be right back. All right, get the plate here. Get some of my goodies. I'm going to add my mango to my dressing. Get it nice and coated. And then I'm going to put my rice in there. Okay, so here's the rice. Comes out perfect every single time, just so you can see how nice it is. Look at that. And it's done absolutely perfectly. I don't have any scalding on the bottom of a pot. I didn't have any boil over. 9 minutes in the microwave. You've got to try this. If you don't already have it, I would highly recommend that you purchase one. So I'm just going to add my mango with my coconut flavors into the rice here. Give that a stir. Sprinkle in my mint and my scallions. And I'm going to plate one plate for you just so you see how beautiful it's looking. Because we all know that people eat with their eyes, and if it looks good, it will taste even better. So let's just put this on a nice plate. If you could only smell this, absolutely delicious. Let's get a few more mango over there. Okay, now the other thing I will say is I did use a fry pan up today to do this shrimp. If you wanted to do these shrimp actually on the grill, you certainly could as well. And you could just layer it on top. If you're doing it on the grill, you're going to want to make sure, that you don't overcook them. But it is an option, and the reason I decided not to do that is I was planning on doing it on the barbecue today, and then we had a quick little thunderstorm come through. So this is my spicy shrimp with the scallions that I've cooked up. I'm gonna put a few little, or shallots I should say. Put a few shrimp on there. And this is a beautiful meal, spicy shrimp, with a nice coconut rice, mango rice. Oh my gosh, guys, hang on. First time I've tried it. Let me make sure it's family approved. Definitely. That lime that I put in there just makes everything pop, and it broke that thick coconut milk up, so it's a really nice texture. So here you go, guys. I will post a picture. Absolutely great, fast, simple meal. You can get this on the table in 15 minutes for sure. Take care, everyone. Bye for now.